Ronnie O'Sullivan is set to face fierce rival Ali Carter in the first round of the 2025 World Snooker Championship, in what promises to be a highly anticipated grudge match. The seven-time world champion has not yet confirmed if he will compete at the Crucible, having not played competitively since January when he snapped his cue after withdrawing from the Championship League. The pair have a contentious history spanning multiple tournaments, including 2 World Finals and a heated exchange following last year's Masters. Their relationship reached boiling point after the 2024 Masters Final, which O'Sullivan won 10-7. Following that victory, Carter accused O'Sullivan of snotting all over the floor and called his fans morons, who haven't got enough brains. O'Sullivan responded with an expletive-laden rant, saying Carter was not a nice person and needed to sort his fucking life out. He also described his opponent as a fucking nightmare during the heated exchange. The rivalry between the two players has deep roots at the Crucible, with O'Sullivan defeating Carter in both the 2008 and 2012 World Championship finals. O'Sullivan comfortably won 18-8 in 2008 and then 18-11 in 2012. However, their most infamous clash came during the 2018 World Championship in what became known as barge-gate. With Carter leading 10-8, O'Sullivan fluked a snooker and was walking back to his chair when he left his shoulder out and collided with his opponent in an apparent barge. As he continued to his seat, O'Sullivan turned to Carter and defended his actions as retribution, accusing the captain of barging him earlier in the match. "That's for being Mr. Angry," said the Rocket. "You shoulder-barged me earlier. I thought I'd give you one back." As the extraordinary exchange played out, Carter smiled at O'Sullivan and replied, "Thank you. It's very nice of you." "Stop being angry then," replied O'Sullivan before the pair were told to calm down by referee Paul Collier. "Yeah, I'm cool," added the 7-time champion. "Cool as a cucumber." Carter had the last laugh on that occasion, triumphing 13-9 and celebrating his victory with a series of fist pumps towards the crowd inside the Crucible. "I've been intimidated by him in the past," he told the BBC after the match, "but I've been through a hell of a lot in my life, and I was determined it wasn't going to happen this time." The heat hadn't simmered by the time the pair met in the semi-finals of the Northern Ireland Open in 2020. Carter had previously said that O'Sullivan had apologised for his actions, a claim the Rocket dismissed. "That apology they say that I said was definitely not an apology," he said. "It was more like, let's just move on. It was what it was. I've got to see you and you've got to see me at tournaments, so we can say hello to each other. We're not boxers, we're not enemies." When this was put to Carter, he was happy to brush it off with sarcasm, although did aim a dig at the Rocket. "Well look, whatever makes him happy. I must have imagined it then," Carter told metro.co.uk. "It really makes no difference to my life whatsoever, whether he apologised or whether he didn't. I don't care. Whatever makes him happy. But I'm not going to make it up. Someone's making it up and it's either me or him, so take your choice. I generally know what I'm saying on a day-to-day basis, but maybe I got it wrong. It's a mystery." The pair locked horns again last year in a high-quality final at the Masters. Relations were evidently frosty from the start. Before the match, O'Sullivan raised concerns about Carter after winning his semi-final against Shaun Murphy at Ali Pali.
All right, who are you bothered about playing tomorrow? Is it going to be
Obviously, if I play
Alan?
Carter, it's going to be a right nightmare, isn't it? You know, because he's like Mr. Like, wants to get in my face, too. But I can deal with him. You know, who's the other guy?
Asked by Eurosport what the problem is between the two, he said, "I think he's got more of a problem with me than I have with him. He's got something against me. Maybe it's because I've got a massive trophy cabinet full of trophies." In the final, Carter got himself in a good position, leading 7-6, but the Rocket won 4 frames on the spin to power to a 10-7 victory. After the match, uglier scenes unfolded as Carter accused O'Sullivan of snotting all over the floor while sitting in his chair during the final frames. "There were a couple of things that happened out there that go unnoticed," a fuming Carter said after his defeat. "Well, they don't go unnoticed, but anyone with an eyesight or a brain can see what's going on. And it's disgusting, quite frankly. No one wants to say anything, do they? Snotting all over the floor and all that. I mean, it's outrageous behaviour from a top professional. If it gets swept under the carpet, then for me, it's not good." Did we have any words of exchange? I've got no words for him at all. Months later, O'Sullivan admitted his regret over those comments, explaining, "Yeah, it's just heat of the moment stuff. If I feel like I've got to say something, I'll say it. It's nothing personal, just heat of the moment stuff. He's entitled to say what he's got to say, like I am. Do I regret saying it? Probably. I wish I'd kept my mouth shut and been a bit more polished with my answers, a bit more diplomatic." More recently, when asked about how their relationship stands now, O'Sullivan simply said, "It's fine. Kyron Wilson's World Snooker Championship defence ended in spectacular fashion on the opening day of the 2025 tournament, suffering a 10-9 defeat to Crucible debutant Le Payfan. The world number 2, who had won 4 ranking events this season, more than any other player, became the latest victim of the infamous Crucible curse, extending the streak to 20 first-time champions who have failed to retain their title.
Well, it doesn't matter about the final red. They had the whole of the Crucible to themselves for this deciding frame, and the defending champion is out. What a shock this has been, but the gentleman is congratulates his opponent. The Crucible curse strikes again. The defending champion goes out, and that young man must be absolutely delighted. 9-6 in front. He's seen his opponent come back to 9-all. He's won a deciding frame. Take a bow.
The match followed a remarkable pattern of shifting momentum. Wilson, nicknamed the Warrior, had looked in control after the morning session, recovering from an early 2-0 deficit to lead 6-3 thanks to breaks of 82, 66, 82 and a superb 136. However, the evening session saw a complete reversal as Lei, the world number 1. 39 produced a stunning display to win 6 consecutive frames with breaks of 50, 53, 60, 75, 89 and 92. The match contained several pivotal moments that defined its outcome. Frame 9. Lei won a crucial safety battle on the final red before clearing to the pink, reducing his deficit to 6-3 at the mid-session interval. Frames 10-15. Lei's remarkable 6-frame streak included a 69 break featuring a stunning long green and a 92 break that put him on the brink of victory at 9-6. Frame 16. Wilson kept his hopes alive with a 106 clearance, his highest break of the match. Frame 18. Wilson produced a superb shot to release the final red off the cushion, helping him level at 9-9. Decider. Lei held his nerve with a break of 66 after Wilson's safety error, sealing the biggest win of his career. Wilson later reflected, "I had everything go against me. The table let me down in the decider. I played a couple of slow-rolling safety shots, but they drifted a mile." The defeated champion was visibly shaken in his post-match interviews. "I'm devastated, Wilson told BBC Sport. "I gave it my all. Every credit to Lei. He potted some incredible shots and held himself together incredibly well for a debutant." Wilson admitted struggling with the pressure of being defending champion. "I was so nervous this morning. I felt awful. It's been very challenging to prepare for a world championship this year with all the media commitments. I sympathise with previous world champions. Your preparation takes a hit." The Englishman, who had been in the form of his life with 4 ranking titles this season, added, It feels like the season is a bit of a waste now, but that's just the winner in me. I want to win all the time. For 21-year-old Lei, this victory marked another milestone in his rapid rise. The Chinese player had already made waves by winning December's Scottish Open, where he defeated Shaun Murphy, Stuart Bingham, Tom Ford and Mark Allen, all in deciding frames. "It feels amazing," Lei told World Snooker Tour. "The Scottish Open was my first title, and this was my Crucible debut. Both moments are very special to me." The emotions were just as intense. Lei's performance was particularly impressive considering his nervous start. He potted the blue off the opening break-off shot. However, he grew into the match, demonstrating the tactical maturity and break-building ability that has marked him as one of China's brightest prospects. Wilson's exit extends one of sport's most remarkable statistical anomalies: 48 years, since the tournament moved to Sheffield in 1977. 20 attempts, by first-time champions to defend their title. 20 failures, including Wilson's 2025 exit. 2 players, Joe Johnson in 1987 and Ken Doherty in 1998, reached the final in their defence. 7 champions, lost in the first round the following year, including Wilson and 2024's Luca Brecel. Wilson had previously dismissed the curse, even creating a humorous video showing him breaking mirrors and walking under ladders. However, he joined an infamous list that includes Steve Davis, Dennis Taylor, Graham Dott and Neil Robertson. 7-time world champion Ronnie O'Sullivan offered insight into Wilson's defeat on TNT Sports. He said, "I don't think Kyron played that bad. I just think the other guy played well." Kyron had one of those sessions where nothing really went right for him. O'Sullivan suggested Wilson may have overplayed before the tournament. "He's gone deep in a lot of tournaments, won a lot of tournaments, but I think he played in too many that he didn't need to. You want to come here fresh, a little undercooked." The Rocket also praised Lei's temperament. He held himself together extremely well under pressure. That's a huge asset for a young player. Lei's victory highlighted the continued rise of Chinese snooker. 10 Chinese players, a record number in this year's championship, nearly 1/3 of the field. Zhao Xintong returns from 20-month ban to qualify, faces Jack Jones next. 200 million viewers, estimated Chinese audience for the tournament. Sheffield contract expires in 2027, with speculation about potential moves. Stephen Hendry has tipped Zhao as China's best hope for a first world champion. Lei's win adds to this narrative, with the 21-year-old now potentially facing Zhao in the last 16 if both progress.
Ronnie, fantastic. Snooker's Ronaldo is back in town. We're absolutely delighted that you're here for a record-extending 33rd Crucible campaign. Those years have gone quickly, haven't they? Can you believe it? 93, your debut.
Yeah, 93. Wow, yeah, a long time ago. I remember it coming here as a qualifier, experiencing the Crucible. Yeah, amazing venue, incredible tournament. Yeah, it's been it's a snooker player's dream to compete here, you know.
The snooker world was stunned when 7-time world champion Ronnie O'Sullivan revealed he may withdraw from the 2025 World Snooker Championship if he experiences a meltdown before his first round match. The 49-year-old legend, competing at the Crucible for a record 33rd consecutive year, has endured one of the most challenging seasons of his career.
Have good mental health. What was the decisive factor that got you over the line and got you through the doors here this time?
I think I decided that if I didn't play this tournament, I was definitely going to start next season and start from the beginning and just devote all my time to playing to as many tournaments as I wanted to play, and in between that just practice and rest and have no other distractions. I thought I owe that to myself and to my career and to snooker. And then I was a little bit bored because obviously taking some time out. So about a month ago, I got my cue out, my case, and just thought, wow, just practice. There's no pressure on it. I'm not planning on playing anything. And we'll see how we go. And then
O'Sullivan has played just 2 competitive matches in 2025, withdrawing from 5 tournaments on medical grounds. His last appearance ended abruptly in January when he snapped his cue in frustration during the Championship League. O'Sullivan stated, "I'm not playing until Tuesday, so if I have a meltdown, who knows? I might still bloody withdraw. I hope I don't." The cue incident marked a turning point in O'Sullivan's season. After breaking his primary playing cue, an instrument he'd used for many of his record-breaking achievements, he struggled to find a suitable replacement. For months, he experimented with different cues, even attempting to play left-handed at one point. "I tried playing left-handed for a couple of months," O'Sullivan admitted. "I enjoyed it, but I can't compete left-handed against these guys." He eventually settled on a new cue that had been sitting unused in his collection. "I've got a cue. I got given it. I've had this one for 3 or 4 months sitting in a rack. I tried it out and it was okay." Despite hitting 2 maximum 147 breaks during practice sessions at his academy in Saudi Arabia, O'Sullivan remained cautious about his tournament prospects. He said, "It's a lot of difference hitting a 147 in exhibitions to coming at the Crucible and playing the best players in the world." O'Sullivan's challenges extend far beyond equipment issues. The snooker great has been remarkably open about his mental health battles this season, describing periods where he couldn't bring himself to practice. "This feels different because I was a bit scared to go near the table," he said. "I didn't want to practice. I didn't want to hit the ball. There were so many practice sessions that lasted like 5 minutes." The pressure of competition has become increasingly difficult for the veteran player to handle. "I've lost my nerve, maybe lost my bottle. That makes it difficult to go out and play," O'Sullivan said. "Even when I went to Saudi Arabia to do the exhibition, I felt quite nervous just exposing myself to the scrutiny and judgment." In a potentially significant development, O'Sullivan has reunited with sports psychiatrist Dr. Steve Peters, who played a crucial role in 4 of his 7 World Championship victories. Their partnership has historically helped O'Sullivan manage the mental demands of top-level competition. The reunion suggests O'Sullivan is taking his Crucible challenge seriously, despite his public doubts. "I'm surprised I'm here, but I'm here," he said, acknowledging the effort it took just to arrive at the tournament. O'Sullivan has set remarkably modest goals for his World Championship campaign, a stark contrast to his usual confident demeanour. "I don't have any expectations," he stated. "I'd just like to not feel all at sea out there. If I can just play and at least feel semi-competitive, I'd be happy with that." When pressed about his chances of winning an unprecedented 8th world title, O'Sullivan was blunt. "Could I win the whole thing? I doubt it. I'd be very happy to just give Ali a game." The snooker legend believes age is becoming a significant factor. "I'm nearly 50 now, and there's a lot of young guys who are hungry and competing all the time," he said. "It's a bit different to say 2012, 2013. I feel like a bit of an old man clinging on." O'Sullivan's preparation for the tournament has been far from ideal. A recent practice session with Barry Hawkins left him so discouraged he considered quitting. "I practiced with Barry Hawkins for a couple of days, and on the second day, it was that bad I quit," he said. Hawkins offered some reassurance, telling him, "It's not as bad as you think. It's just maybe concentration." O'Sullivan said, "So I held on to that." O'Sullivan's first-round match against Ali Carter is one of the most anticipated opening clashes in recent Crucible history. The pair have a storied rivalry, including a heated encounter at the 2024 Masters that saw physical contact and verbal sparring. O'Sullivan has previously described Carter as not a nice person and a nightmare to play against. Carter, a 2-time World Championship finalist, represents one of the toughest possible first-round opponents. The match is scheduled for Tuesday, April 22nd, giving O'Sullivan several days to finalise his preparations. or reconsider his participation. "It's Friday now. I'm not playing until Tuesday," O'Sullivan said, leaving the door open for a potential withdrawal. While O'Sullivan hasn't announced retirement plans, he's clearly contemplating his future in the sport. "I'm not quitting just yet, but I will give myself 2 years to try and figure it out," he told the Daily Mail.